Miss Granger, you surely aren't expecting to be attacked during class, huh? We're not going to use magic, Ron ejaculated loudly. Today I will be reviewing Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, the book and the movie, are tied for my favorite book and movie of the series. They're tied with Half-Blood Prince, the book and the movie. It just kind of happened like that, but the reasons why each one is my favorite, the book and the movie, are different from each other. Meaning that not necessarily the reasons I love the book so much are the same reasons that I love the movie so much, because Prisoner of Azkaban, it's not the most faithful adaptation. There is a fair, good amount of information cut out. But as far as a movie, judging it objectively from the book, it is by far one of the best made movies all around, just technically. Alfonso Cuarón kind of took this series and brought it into his own. He changed a lot of things that Chris Columbus had established from the first two movies. He made them a much more lighthearted, and Alfonso came in and just totally darkened the tone, made it much more ominous, just changed the whole scheme of really the Hogwarts layout, how Harry is presented. You know, something I mentioned before, you know, the title scheme, changing it from this bright gold to kind of this darker, more rustic color, and then eventually it goes on to be silver, just straight silver. So yeah, things like that, he adds in that kind of bluish color scheme that is much darker. Really, this is the evolution of the Harry Potter series. You can even see these changes in the book. Things are almost more modernized now. Things felt almost archaic in the first two Harry Potter movies. Here, they have a more modernized feel. Another reason I love Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban so much is that it hosts the introduction of my two favorite characters, like the non-Harry characters of the series, and that is Lupin and Sirius. And also, in great addition, I love them so much in the books, and then they come to life so perfectly in the movie with David Thewlis and Gary Oldman, who I adore. Which reminds me, I'm probably going to make like a video just about Harry Potter characters alone, because J.K. Rowling knows how to make endearing characters. I just loved these guys so much. I mean, Lupin, throughout the entire book, was just so awesome. I would almost like perk up whenever he'd enter in, because he was just cool. And the same thing goes for Sirius at the end. Okay, I just thought about that. I didn't mean perk up in like a sexual way, because, oh look, my wand. This is the book and movie that really, this is the book and the movie. Prisoner of Azkaban is one that really has the least to do with Voldemort. I know, like, the story wouldn't really even be possible, you know, had it not been for Voldemort, and it is, obviously, all these events occur because some way linking back to him. But, in addition, it's really, it's the only one to not feature him in any way. Sorcerer's Stone, you know, he's there with Quirrell, Chamber of Secrets, he's there in memory. Nothing in Prisoner of Azkaban. Goblet of Fire, obviously there in the graveyard, coming back to life. The fight with Dumbledore at the end, you know, he's kind of in Harry's mind and stuff. Prisoner of Half-Blood Prince, he's not there in person, but he's there in memories, in the Pensieve. And then obviously Deathly Hallows. So here, this is the only one to really not feature him in any way. And for some reason, that's almost like enthralling to me, because it's a chance to kind of take this story in a new direction and add so much great character development on top of narrative. I mean, this is really where these characters develop into characters we love, because there's much more of a chance to kind of adapt upon them, and you get more background. Another reason why I love this so much, and love Half-Blood Prince so much, is the great additional information. You know, Moony, Wormtail, Padfoot, and Prongs. I just loved hearing all about, you know, their time at Hogwarts. I thought that was awesome, which was where my slight disappointment in the movie is as an adaptation. As I said, as a movie, it is made oh so perfectly. You know, everything makes sense within the movie. It is made amazing. It is an extremely well-made movie. But yes, there are a lot of things that I would have loved and I think really should have been in the movie, most of which are kind of just background information that are really important that come into play at the end. Like, they have Harry's Patronus become a stag, but they never explain why. And that's obviously because his dad, James, when he was an unregistered animagus, and then they don't really even get into that about how, you know, with Lupin being a werewolf and how that even relates to the story, because he's like, you know, none of this would have been possible had I not been a werewolf and stuff like that. And yeah, so his dad was a stag. I mean, and yes, his dad was a stag, so therefore Harry's Patronus is a stag, and he kind of lives on through him. You know, that's something they don't even mention, you know, because his name was Prongs. They don't even mention that, because it's weird. You know, the only one that they say the name of, the nickname, is Wormtail. They call Peter Pettigrew Wormtail, but they never explain that they were the people that made the Marauders map. So we're like, why is Wormtail's... If you haven't read the books, you're like, why is Wormtail's name on the Marauders map? Like, with these other people, they never explain, you know, Lupin is Moony, and then James is Prongs, and Sirius is Padfoot, and I think that was kind of a missed opportunity. They never explain, you know, the Shrieking Shack, you know, was obviously brought into the story for a reason, and that reason being why, because Lupin was a werewolf, and he went there to transform, and that's how they become the Animagus, and that's why Snape hates them so much. You know, you kind of miss out with the whole Snape thing there. They don't really explain that. And all of this is really towards the end of the book. The information that they really leave out is towards the end of the book. And for the rest of the book, it's fine. Another thing that they always kind of do, they always usually limit the amount of Quidditch play to like one game. They usually only gave like one game per movie, even though there's many games. And I think this, Prisoner of Azkaban, has the most Quidditch... Jeez, what am I saying? They're the most interesting Quidditch games. I've been talking for too long without breaking. Because there's kind of like this sense of urgency. You know, as much as this is an ominous book, then you have Oliver Wood. You know, it's his last year at Hogwarts. He wants to win the cup. And the games are just really interesting, how Harry learns Patronus for, essentially, Quidditch. And they show him falling off his broom, but they do not show the final Quidditch championship game, which was an awesome Slytherin game. And since they did Quidditch so well in the movies, every director has brought something like a new style to it that has all been very exciting. I really would have liked to see that Quidditch match. As I said, this is a development of our trio. There's a lot of great development in this book, emotionally, that does set up kind of a emotional connection for a basis for the rest of the series, and I think largely due to this book, you know, when further things happen with Sirius, you care about him so much because he's presented so well in this book. He's so lovable. Lupin too. So yes, and then other things they do add in the book, is the part with the time turner. I thought they did that very, very well. It's different, yes, but that little thing they add with the rocks, you know, throwing it through the window, that's not even in the book at all. No shape or form is that in the book. You know, throwing the books to kind of alert them. I thought that was really cool. I mean, you know, if you're gonna add things like that, it's just that the scene in the Shrieking Shack is so quick in the movie, but yet it's a very long time, or at least it seems like there's a lot of chapters devoted to that in the book, and not as much time in the movie. This is the change between Richard Harris and Michael Gambon for Dumbledore, because Richard Harris died a couple weeks before Chamber of Secrets was released. So yeah, it's a new Dumbledore, and I think he really nails it, because I've said this before as well, that Dumbledore really changes from the second book into the third book. So in the films, having a completely new actor almost supports that. It's odd because he's completely different. He plays Dumbledore in perfect respect to Richard Harris's Dumbledore, making obviously some continuity between the change, but he brings this vitality. There's a lot more vigor. He's a lot more like he's not as like this old wise man anymore. He has this youth in him, and it's really cool because he's mysterious. I love the way they do his character because yes, he does change so much in Prisoner of Azkaban. This is kind of when Dumbledore starts to be that guy that always knows what's going on. Like he always knows, and he's just that awesome, and he's always got a plan. You know, he's throwing out those kind of little clues, and I love that. Michael Gambon does him perfectly. I think they did Buckbeak very well. There was definitely a big emotional connection to that. Yet again, advancing the emotional connection to this trio, seeing them struggle with death, trying to save innocent people. Really, it brings up some of the best elements of the series, and I think for that, largely are done extremely well in the movie. I love the visual style in this movie, really done great. My only, like, aside from my complaints from the book to the movie, them taking things out, I kind of have to say, the ending was really cheesy with Harry, you know, up on the firebolt and then, like, freeze frames on his smile. I'm like, okay, first, he gets the firebolt, like, halfway through the book, and Sirius sent it to him. So that, you know, whatever. And they did Hogsmeade very well, too. I actually have the Ultimate Edition for this movie because, it's, you know, it's one of my favorites. So, yeah, the Ultimate Editions are awesome. And this is obviously part 3, but for the documentary, I think they do, like, little documentaries, and they split them up between each Ultimate Edition. So it's kind of like you buy each one, and there's something new material. And this one is on the magical creatures, which is cool. Because, you know, this one obviously has some cool creatures. Yeah, so there's just the 3 discs. There's the special features for the movie, the actual movie. There's actually a lot of great bonus content because you know, whenever you have like a favorite in the series, you always got to get the ultimate, you know, the creating the world of Harry Potter. That's they have the magical creatures. That's pretty much it. They have like a little. They put effort into this. You can tell. They have this little booklet. For creatures, they have all of them. It's really cool. They have the Dementors, they have the Owls, they have the Trolls. That was cool. And then for some, I don't know what they tried to do. They have these little like collectible cards. This one, awesomely has Sirius. So favorite, love the first. Got his wand. And then Hermione. Whatever. No, Emma Watson's cool. I love Gary Oldman though. Yeah, so there's just that. The Ultimate Editions are very awesome, I must say. You know, if you got a favorite Harry Potter movie, you don't need to get them all the Ultimate Editions, but if you got a favorite, I think, yeah, they've released 1 through 6, so if you got a favorite Harry Potter, go get the Ultimate Editions. They're definitely worth it. Hopefully you get a cool, part of the documentary. Yes, there are some missed opportunities in this book that I really am disappointed not to see in the movie, but God, not again, jeez. Yeah, so, but as a movie, judging it alone, aside from the book, it is as perfect as the Harry Potter series has gotten. I will give it a 10 out of 10. I love this movie. And then for the book, I just, you know, I still can't really rate them, but it is up there for my favorite, just because, just so rich in background information. It's a fun, just awesome, awesomeness. I'm so articulate, I know. Really probably should plan my words better, but whatever. Thank you guys for watching Day 4, the Harry Potter Extravaganza. There will be more. The next time I probably won't be doing a review. I will be doing a video of some other sort. So, look forward to that, and I'll see you guys later.